Hello! Let's see if I can remember how to do this. It has been not quite a month. The last time I streamed was October 2nd. And then I went on vacation. And then I came home and fully intended to be back streaming, oh, around the 21st, 22nd, and got a terrible cold or crud or whatever. I don't know what to call it. I've been calling it the Alaskan crud. Um, so, whatever. We'll see how it goes. I still cough. I may have to mute the mic and get some coughing done. I still have congestion in my chest. Every now and then, I still have to blow my nose. Unfortunately, I'm feeling a lot better, and hubby has it now. He's at the sleeping day and night stage, which was pretty much the first 4 days of it, and then he kind of started feeling better. But he is a little different than me being sick. Um, I'm very aggressive about getting fluid in me, and he's not. And I'm a believer in it, but he's not. So, you know, he doesn't get the fluids in him. Oh, I have so much to tell you, and it's not going to come out today because I'm not going to push the voice very much. I have some spinning that, of course, I was doing on the last stream, and I'm going to pick back up again. It is this what's called water lily, I guess, and I have one bobbin of it spun. I'm spinning the second bobbin, and I'm going to apply it. It's not the best thing to spin. Um, it's not silk. It's a Romney, I think, or a run of the mill Midland wool, some mohair, that sort of thing. Um, I am going to probably use it for a non next to the skin something, not a garment or anything. Just depends how much I get, how much is in there. So anyway, see, already I'm getting a little froggy. Let's go to my spinning wheel. Still, I'm not quite happy with the camera angle here. Let's do that. Give me a little more bobbin there. There we go. All right, I'm also trying to pre-draft this a little bit. Some of it just slides right apart, and some of it is like matted, felded, I guess is the word I want, and doesn't come apart real well. I am playing music from Chill Hop. Chill Hop does not require you put anything in the streams acknowledging it or anything, but I am very happy for their music. It's free, and I am playing a Halloween. It does not sound like Halloween music to me. I think that's more that they're labeling the little animated thing they do at the front of the music that's you can put on your screen right while you're working or whatever, or just listening. Because it, of course, is a very Halloween theme to it. So, when you come right down to it, what music do you think of for Halloween? There is none, right? It's not like Christmas. So, I'm sure they were very hard pressed to figure out what to put into something for Halloween. Hello, Kay. Hi. Good friend, good to see you. Sort of see you. We are having a rainy Sunday. Got to give the weather report. It is chilly. I can't get warm today. I have been Christmas shopping in the catalogs. Um, First of all, when we were gone for so long, we stopped our mail. It was held at the post office. And when we went in and got it, hubby had to get a box for the number of catalogs I had in 2 weeks of mail. I get so many catalogs, but I shop from catalogs too. So I guess, what goes around comes around. And um, I have been, I've gone through those catalogs, picked out the ones I want to get some stuff for Christmas, various people that I'm shopping for, and I have been gradually putting those orders in. But there's a lot of stuff I didn't buy, and one of them was a T-shirt that says "I'm cold," and then underneath it says "Me 24/7." So, and once the weather turns cold, my house is always cold. I can never get warm in it. K vacation was amazing, frustrating, um, illness making. I don't know a word for that. Um, I have been working on the pictures, and working on the pictures means my camera has a card, right? A memory card in it. And it was not easy. The computer I used to stream is a gaming computer. They are not set up with card slots and stuff like that, right? They want everything to stream, right? They don't want to deal with, there's no CD slot or anything like that. Fortunately, we have an old computer that has that stuff, but what that meant was I had to take, I think I had over 100 photos from the CD card onto the old computer, then upload it to Shutterfly. Are you familiar with Shutterfly? Shutterfly is free photo storage. It's amazing. I literally have photos in there from 2003 on, and there's no max, right? I have never reached a limit. Now, the way they make their money is by selling you photo books and all sorts of stuff. You can get mugs with your picture on it. That's how they make their money. But fortunately, they never charge for the storage of the photos. So it's a cool deal. So I uploaded those, and that takes time. And then I come to my new desktop, and I have to download to the new desktop. Then, now that I have that done, they're downloaded to the new desktop, I got to put them on Discord. And that's where I'm going to be putting the pictures. So, there is a thread on my Discord called Fire and Ice Cruise. So that's where the pictures will be. But they're not there yet, so don't go running off. Oh man, there is so much to tell. But the most fun part was we ended up with 6 days at sea when we went between Alaska and Hawaii. And during those 6 days, there was a little blurb. They put out a daily newspaper, and there was a blurb in there that said that crafters would be getting together at this one bar on the ship, at a certain time. I forget. It was in the morning, like 10 o'clock or something like that. 10 o'clock in the morning. The bar wasn't open, but you can go in there and sit down. And so I went. And do you know, I made like 6, 7 new friends. We met every day for those 6 days while we were at sea. I was not knitting. I had taken a really tiny cross-stitch ornament kit because it was small to pack, right? I didn't have to pack yarn or needles or anything like that. And I worked on that cross-stitch and started another ornament. So was a lot of fun. And I sat there and people knit. Some people crocheted. One lady made an entire top crocheting. No, knitting in those 6 days. It was bulkier yarn and it was an open stitch, but still, you know, by the last day, we had one day at sea after we left um, the final port in Hawaii and was heading for Honolulu, which is a short trip, really. I mean, we were just running around the islands. Um, sort of got a big circle around all the islands on that day and then hit Honolulu, which is down in the southeast corner of the one island. So, anyway, um, I forget what I was saying. Oh, the last day we did, since we had a day at sea, we got together and she wore her top. She had her top on. So that was a lot of fun. I got their email addresses. Hopefully, I'll stay in touch with them. Not that I ever check my email. I never check my email. I know people. There are people who think email's important. Ah, I get so much junk email, and I clean it out, and I clean it out, and I unsubscribe, and I still get junk. But the sad part of all that was I only had to tell them that I was a spinner and that I streamed and that I had all my podcasts, right? I didn't have bring anything to spin to prove to them I was a spinner. But I did give them this, and because we exchanged all sorts of information, emails and everything. There's another lady that does a podcast. She calls it Rambling with Rover, and it is a video podcast on YouTube, right? So there was another video podcaster. Twitch and YouTube are direct competitors, and I find it really surprising that people who use YouTube have not ever heard of Twitch. And when I started streaming, the only way I heard to stream was on Twitch, right? I didn't think you could. I didn't know you could do it on YouTube. So they are doing really uh, going at lengths to stay out of each other's way, I guess is what I'm saying. It was awesome. Gave me something to do while hubby was. He spent his vast majority of his time on deck 13, which is the top deck. It's basically a half deck. It's not. No, that's not true. But there was only one bar on it. It overlooked the pool on deck 12, and that was the smoker section. You cannot smoke anywhere on the ship except that area. So he spent lots of time up there. That's where he made his friends. You know, I made crafter friends. He made smoking buddies. Every once in a while I'd go up there and, ooh, my electric just blinked. Uh-oh. Well, I'm still live. Okay. Anyway, there's no thunder. No storm, just rain. And the other thing I have to do when I put those photos in the, I need to do it for all the photos. excuse me, is label, you know, what they were before I forget. I took really good journal notes in a journal. I would basically write in it every morning at breakfast, right? And sit there with cups of coffee, and every once in a while go get a sweet roll or something. But I would sit in the cafeteria uh, and write. And the journal, so I kept one journal every up to date, by writing in it pretty much every morning. Um, that journal is actually a gift for my good friend in California. I may have talked about her before, but she and I, when I lived in California, she and I worked together. And hi, Knitter, welcome. After I moved from California, for a while we lost touch, and then we got back in touch, and it turned out we were both letter writers. We both like to write letters. So we ended up writing letters instead of, we will text now and then, but we do the old fashioned letter writing, staying in touch. So, she's known about us going on the cruise forever. And she would, every once in a while, now make sure you write and tell me all about your cruise, and I'm going to go on that cruise with you through what you write and all that. And that gave me the idea of actually keeping a journal for her as a gift. So she has the journal that I wrote while I was on the ship. But what I'm doing is also transcribing it into a journal for me. Not word for word, because there are some things that, when I read what I wrote to her, reminds me of some maybe more personal things that I'm going to put in our journal. But I'm in the process of doing that right now before I can send it to her. Let me tell you, I found the best thing. This is a gel pen. And this here, this is an erasable gel pen. I bought a 12 pack of this. And this here it's not an eraser in the sense of, what am I trying to say? It's not like it's rubbing off lead. It's not that kind of eraser. It's hard. It is hard plastic. And it rubs the gel, which sits on top of the gel ink sits on the paper for a while. It'll eventually dry and you can't erase it. But it sits on top of the paper for a while and it erases so easy. And of course, I love to write my journals in pens, and I hate making a mistake, right? Because then I either have to scratch it out or, white it out or whatever. And I wrote all of her journal in one of those pens. It was wonderful. I love them. Got those on Amazon. Anyway, I'm in the process of writing our journal. And then once I do that, I'll mail her journal. I've been doing travel journals ever since the first cruise. Our first cruise was in 2008, and 2008 we went to Alaska, and I didn't have the idea of keeping a journal until about halfway through. We were shopping somewhere in Alaska, and I saw a travel journal book, and I thought, oh, that's a great idea. And I bought it. And so, I didn't get, I kind of did quick catch up. But there were things that I really didn't get the details to. Um, I have half of that cruise, but ever since then I have kept the cruises. Um, Kay, if you love a good gel pen, this is not it. I have two here. Just go on Amazon for erasable gel pen. Erasable gel pens. I don't think I have the pack here. I don't. It's out with my journals on the table. Yeah, because I write letters. You know, I love writing letters with it. So it's been a whole month almost since I talked to you all. What you up to? This is the first I have spun since the last stream. Wasn't quite intentional. It just, I did not feel good, right? I was just not feeling real good when I got home and had to get back. I have you know, I was poking around and I had fiber in my Etsy cart. But I undid it. I didn't buy any. It's my willpower. I am just got so much. I have a stiff neck. Also, uh, I think either I slept wrong last night or it's from. I did a lot of crocheting yesterday. I am making a blanket for my friend Lana that I talked about. That's going to be her actual Christmas present. And I'm making good progress. But I spent a lot of time with my neck down, looking down at the at the crochet. And I think I got a stiff neck from it. I think there could have been some prettier music in this Halloween. It's just weird. It's only an hour. I'll look for something else after that. I won't replay it. I have to do something to acknowledge Halloween. I'm not doing anything else. Uh, we do not get trick-or-treaters. We live in what looks like a haunted house. People avoid us. We live down a lane. People avoid that. So my big Halloween thing is to go the day after and get candy on sale. I probably won't get that tomorrow. Going to town tomorrow. Mainly to go talk to the post office. We, like I said, we had our mail held. And I think we got mail for a day or two after we went and picked it up. And then we didn't get any more. I mean, we haven't gotten mail for 4 days. And I know that's not right. So I have to go get it tomorrow, talk to them and tell them that that card said start the mail again on the 22nd of October. And this is now the 31st. Oh, heavens. Anyway, we are going in town tomorrow to buy Powerball. Sorry. So sorry, so sorry. To buy Powerball tickets up to, gosh, what is it? 900,000? Something like that? Can you imagine? I mean, I can imagine because obviously I can imagine. I'm buying the tickets. I can imagine. Wow. That's a lot of fluff. I don't care if I am 70 years old. If I won money like that, I would definitely be starting a fiber business. It would become a chain across the country. Spinners are us. I'm sure I would find some good stuff to do with it too. Because I am charitable. My cotton plant is right here behind me. You can't see it. But I have two peace lilies that live back here in the wintertime, and I scooched them over and I made room. My cotton plant is right behind me here. I have no idea if any more of the cotton bolls will ripen, but I have one to play with. I'm just letting it be for right now. I want to see the full cycle. You like the sound of Spinners R Us. Absolutely. I do too. You know, I'm not going to say excuse me every time I cough. Yeah. Coughing happens. One of the things that happened on the cruise ship, which was pretty perfect happening on the longest cruise we've ever taken. Technically, the cruise was 16 days, although the first day you board the ship anytime between 1 and 4 o'clock. And the last day, you have to be off the ship pretty much by 9 a.m. because they have between 9 a.m. and when people can board and I think it's noon, to clean those staterooms and, you know, have everything ready for new people to come on. So, you know, it was 16 days, but that first and last day was kind of in short. And now I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, it happened on this one as being the longest one we've ever been on. Okay, so we cruise mostly with NCL, which is Norwegian. And Norwegian has a program for repeat cruisers called the Latitude program. And you go up in tiers. And the more tier you go up, the higher you go up in the tier, the more little perks you get, little benefits. What happened was, when we boarded that ship, we were 2 points away from going up a tier. So we went to see the little Latitude guy and said, you know, we are so close. And he said, oh, yeah, absolutely. So he bumped us up to the next level. We went platinum. And what that meant was we had 2 free meals at their specialty restaurants for being the level below, and 3 free meals for being the level above. And then he handed us a welcome to Latitudes thing, which had a coupon in there for 2 more free meals. We got 7 specialty meals while we were on that cruise. That's a big deal. That is really a big deal. They have basically they had 4 specialty restaurants that we would go to. They had sushi, they had some other stuff, but we were not interested in that, right? So we had 7 meals. We did all the specialty restaurants twice except one, which was the Benihana style, where you sat with other people, and we only did that one once. We've done that a number of times on the ship, so we were like, yeah, okay, we don't need to do that one again. We did their Italian twice, their French twice, and what's the 4th one? Oh, it'll come to me in a minute. Huh. Doggone it, I can't think what the 4th one was. Anyway, yeah, we got to do them each twice. And when you go in, you know, you get your menu and you can pick appetizer, entree, dessert, and there's something between appetizer. There's a starter and appetizer. There are 4 categories. You can pick one from each of the 4. So that was a lot of fun. Me. I'm a foodie. That was a lot of fun. Kay says, your Halloween plans involve getting pizza with friends and watching Young Frankenstein. Good movie. Good movie. I liked that movie. Trying to decide whether I want to turn the heater on. My feet are so cold. Might hear a little banging around here. Oh, you might hear a lot of banging around. I just knocked the trash can over. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm 2 for 2 now. Knocked the trash can over twice. Okay, you must not be plugged in. Boo, not plugged in. Huh. Alright. Really stuck down here. When is it on? Got it. Got the plug. It's me being cautious, of course, and unplugging everything. There we go. Well, that wasn't easy. But we shall have heat now. That's nice. All right. We shall have heat and stinky, dusty, whatever heater. You turn the heater on and it has that weird dusty smell. All right, hopefully we finish this today. Oh, I'm also gonna need to put that back there a little bit. There we go. Yeah, one of the channels I noticed on the TV was playing a whole bunch of the, you know, grade B stalker Chucky type horror movies. Just debating whether to watch them or not and decide not to. I can do that if I'm watching with somebody else, but I cannot. Hubby don't count because he sleeps through everything. You know what? Yeah, about the smell. I know. I haven't had that heater on since last winter. Okay, let me tell you who is so happy I am home. Newman! He has not left my lap if I make a lap. He has laid flat up against me in the bed every night. For the first week, I was sitting so much because I wasn't well. And he just slept and slept and slept on my lap. He has finally started going back outside. Not today, but the couple days before today. They were gorgeous fall days. You know, we have beautiful fall colors just about The leaves are just about all down, but there's still enough to be a lot of pretty colors. And it was really nice and warm and dry, and so he did go out some last couple days. But boy, he has been sticking like a tick. Happy Newman. Yeah. Unfortunately, we have to go to Florida before the holidays. So he's going to have another week without us. I toyed with the idea of taking him, but he would not be happy. I just know that. So I should be back on my regular streaming schedule. Tuesdays, 11 to 1. Thursday evenings, probably 6 to 9. I mean, 6 to 8. So I can watch Thursday evening football. That's just an hour earlier than usual. Hey, we should be changing time here pretty soon, right? I guess this is coming Saturday. I've been waking up 7 o'clock every day. It's just been daylight coming on. That'll make it 8 o'clock. And the time changes. Excuse me. All right, let's go back and find something else here. I don't suppose there's something. This is not real upbeat music a lot of times, anyway. But
We haven't seen really any of our photos printed. We just like put them on social media, and
gotta
someone
skip the
asked
ads.
the other
Hang
day,
on a
like,
minute.
"Oh, I never saw your wedding pictures." If I
Gigi, I've decided not to leave this town. Maybe I can stay and find some other nice people who will like me and accept me for who I am.
I'm gonna turn it up just a tad.
Trusting your spirit, yes, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Why are they talking? There we go. A little jazzier. I like jazz. Which cross stitch? The little ornaments, were they Christmas ornaments that I was working on? I had that with me on the cruise. I worked to the point where on the one where I couldn't do anymore, and I couldn't do anymore because ironically there was no brown. The kit had been opened and somehow the brown, I guess, had been removed. This is something I bought at an auction lot. That's why. It wasn't something I anticipated. So I started another one, and it's about half done. So I have two about half done of those ornaments. I'll have them on Tuesday morning, on the stream Tuesday morning, because I do intend to keep working on those on the stream. But I say which cross stitch because, you know, I don't think I was working on anything else during the stream. I can't remember. And that's what I've been working on the most lately. By the way, speaking of which, I got that stuff through an auction, and I have been, I'm bidding on another craft lot at that auction house, different person's stuff, but this one has a bunch of knitting needles in one lot that I have for $3, and a bunch of crochet hooks in the second lot that I have for $3. So I'm hoping, I'll let the knitting lot go if it gets beyond $10-12. I'm not going to go too high. But the crochet one I really want, because I was working on that blanket, getting ready to work on the blanket that I'm crocheting right now, and looking through all my hooks, trying to find the right size, and I realized I am crochet hook poor. I have tons and tons of knitting needles, but in my crochet hooks I have a set of 4 very large. They go up through M and O or something like that, and I have this packet of crochet hooks that are like threading the needle. I mean, their hooks are so fine. They're made to do the lace work with the real fine crochet cotton, right? Obviously, I bought those when I was younger and had eyesight, right? But I have nothing in between. I have 2 or 3 hooks that are kind of in between the great big ones and those teeny tiny ones. So that's what I'm hoping to get in this lot that I bid on in the auction, is hopefully, and what I'm hoping to get in the knitting needles is more of not the needles themselves. I have plenty of those. It's the circulars that are in there that I'm kind of going after, because I am always not having the right size circular, either length, the amount of cord in between, or the needle size, right? Those two factors make it really hard to sometimes have the right one to use for the project. So hopefully I'll get those. I'll know on Tuesday. I can guarantee I'll get them by overpaying, but I'm not going to do that. Hopefully I'll get them at the price I want to pay. Let's put it that way. Or I won't get them. But, every auction, I never dreamed I'd find crochet hooks at the auction. I'm sorry, I didn't have my mic down. Hopefully you heard what I was saying. I never dreamed I'd find crochet hooks at the auction that was auction of a clock collector. So I thought it was all clocks, But I looked anyway, and there was a lot of knitting needles and a lot of crochet hooks. I'm surprised I got as much cross stitch done as I did, and that's only because, as I said, I hooked up with these other crafters, that was the only thing I brought. Because, to be honest with you, when we travel on a cruise like that, I'm not into doing the needlework. There is just something going on constantly on a cruise ship. And you don't have to be part of it, or you can be part of it, or you can find a nook and read, which is what I really like to do. And usually what happens is somebody else comes and joins you because it's a quiet nook and then starts talking. Because one thing, there's two things cruisers love to do. The first is eat and the second is talk. we have a new audience, right? We've never met these people before. There's all our grandkids stories and cat stories and dog stories and cruises we've been on to talk about. And cruisers love to talk. Not that, not that I don't. Would you say I love to talk? Sit here and talk to myself for 2 hours, 3 times a week? Would you say I love to talk? Oh, I am reading a book, a second Ken Follett book, World Without End, and it is actually Book Without End. Oh my gosh, this is a big book. It's even heavy to hold. I have to sit there and prop it on my armchair arm. But it's good reading. I love historical novels, and that's what it is. Historical
On every vacation
novel.
at a verbal home, there's someone like
Oh, come on. Why are you giving me
you. To
ads?
make up for lost.
Go away. Okay, that was mean. I stuck him in the middle there. It's a small chance I may like talking. Yeah. By the way, I did have internet. The ship provides internet. It has its own little server thing, right? It was not 100%. I've been on ships that had better service. I mean, like, never a fault, never a problem. And this would come and go. I believe it evidently talks to a satellite, right? And so, that probably depended on positioning while we were. But the nice thing was I did have internet. Now, this is not streaming kind of internet, right? There is a limit of, for this cruise, I got 500 minutes. And the second way I could get internet was I can use my cell phone service as a hotspot. I do this down at my mom's because there's no internet down at my mom's. And the hotspot gives me internet. I have the hotspot on the phone, and I use my iPad for the internet. But that also isn't streaming, right? That is just check important email things or whatever. I mean, I did very little on the internet. It would have been cool, really, really cool to stream from the ship. But we're not there yet. The fact we have internet on a cruise ship is like, this is like maybe 4 or 5 years. And the fact that you get as much as you do. It's not expensive because it used to be intolerably expensive if you wanted internet. Um, now for $300, which is expensive, but for $300 on that 16-day cruise, you could have unlimited internet. I don't know if that meant streaming or not, but I didn't do it because you know what? I was unhooking. This was a getaway. This was a vacation, and I made a point to make it a vacation. However, doing Alaska meant that for 5 days of the 16 days or 15 days or whatever you want to count, it was way too cold to be outside on the boat. It was raining. This is the second time we've been to Alaska, and the second time it was raining. The last time we went to Alaska, it rained, and that was in May. This was in October, and it rained. It rained a lot. It rained every day. So it was basically an indoor cruise, right? And I'm changing the music again. So that was the first 5 days. No swimming, no sunshine, no sun tanning, right? And then we ended up with one extra day at sea because we could not go to one of the oh man, Alaska stops. What was it? Supposedly the weather was bad and we couldn't get into port, and we went to the next one, which turned out to be a made-up village, built by somebody for cruise ships to stop at. It was called Icy Point, and it was like a native village. And then they had other stuff. They had stores and restaurants and stuff like that. But it was not a real town. I mean, it was not a real stop on a map kind of thing. So all those days, no sunshine, no swimming. And then we had the extra day at sea, so they took a little bit longer getting down to Alaska. Hubby, it was a little rough too. It was stormy. Hubby said that he didn't think that their not going to the one port was because of weather, but because the weather was going to be so bad when we were going down to Hawaii. They wanted to make sure they could take the most, whatever, advantageous route or whatever. So they added a day to the sea travel. Well, that was all right until we got out of the rainy weather. We couldn't do anything outside. It wasn't really raining, but it was cloudy and cool. We had a balcony. We always get a balcony room. And we first went out and sat on the balcony about 3 days away from Hawaii. Then the weather started turning. And I did joke about, we were in the North Pacific before, and we crossed this invisible line, right? And now we're in the South Pacific. And so we got better weather. But good grief. It was the last 3 days that I went out and actually put a bathing suit on and sat by the pool, and everybody else was there too. Everybody was out by the pool because we had been having no sun. No chance to get that suntan to take home. Not that I do that, but the sun felt good. The sun felt good. I don't know what to say about Hawaii. Hawaii was the only place we took a excursion on, which means, go on this 6 hour walk through a jungle, basically. It was amazing. It was a botanical park. So it wasn't a jungle, right? But we had a tour guide. We had about 20 of us. And we drove to various parts in this botanical park. It was huge. And I got to see all the vegetation that is native to Hawaii because they plant it there and keep it there and everything. Which was more than I really got to see when we stopped at Hawaiian ports, because there it's just you see the trees and stuff like that. But this music, this chill hop one's got a lot of ads in it. Sorry. Um, One day for Hawaii was a drive-by. It was the volcano. It was we went by, never got off the ship. We went by what was called Volcano Park. It's a national park, which I think is pretty cool because I have this little book where if we visit a national park, I can get a stamp. So I got a stamp for my national park book, which I didn't expect. I didn't have it with me, but they had them on a piece of paper I can glue into my book. Anyway, it was all sit and find a good window and just look out the window, and then the ship would come to a vista point, and it would do a 360 degree very slow rotation. But the thing was, they brought on board the National Park Rangers for this Volcano National Park. And they told us all this different stuff, It was really cool. And they did it over the loudspeaker so that we didn't always get to hear what they were saying, but it still was interesting and amazing scenery. Some of the pictures I got is of that, and it's just pretty amazing. And now I'm trying to remember. Holy mackerel. I can't remember if that was Alaska or Hawaii. I have to double check on that. The other thing that was Alaska was the glaciers. And hubby and I have seen a glacier before in our first cruise up there. That was big and impressive, and it looked like a gigantic waterfall that was frozen. All right, it was wide and tall and everything. The glaciers that we went by were not like that. Somebody said it might be the difference between being May, which is when we saw the first one, and October, seeing the second one in October. But I don't think so. I think it was just the glaciers we went to, and there are lots and lots and lots of glaciers up there in Alaska. So I think it was just this is what they chose to go to. But the first one looked like a frozen river coming down a mountainside. I mean, like a stream that was frozen the whole way. And you think, oh, okay, that'll thaw and run. But it won't. It doesn't ever thaw. It stays frozen. It gets snow on it. It gets ice buildup. And that's what a glacier is. Multiple layers of snow, ice that just never melts, but moves. It's moving down the hill and coming out into Glacier Bay, which is where we were. I'm sorry. That's where the park rangers were from. They were from Glacier Bay. That's the national park. Okay. The Hawaii thing was we went on an excursion off the boat and had a tour guide, and there was all sorts of native plants and everything at the botanical gardens. That was that. The ranger was at Glacier Bay in Alaska. So now I got that in my mind. Anyway, The second glacier was like this wider and probably taller. I mean, we weren't real close to it, so size could be deceiving, right? Because we weren't that close to it. But again, just like a frozen waterfall. And coming down behind it, you could see, and it will never thaw. It'll never become a waterfall. And what makes it a glacier is the fact that it moves a measurable amount a year. Now, that measurable amount might be a half inch, but they can tell it's moving because ice keeps feeding into Glacier Bay from the glaciers. That's how they know that something's moving. And so they check all these things out, I'm sure, and determine which one's a glacier. Most of them have names. I got a map. It has all the glaciers on it from Alaska and with their names and everything. And that ones that are big enough to be, uh, you know, earmarked that way. So anyway, that was pretty cool. Our true excursions into the rest of the time it was just going into a port, you know, doing a little bit of shopping. I did buy some jewelry. I have been converting some of my inheritance money wise from my mom into jewelry that I can eventually pass on to my daughter. Enjoy wearing it now and then pass on to her. So, you know, I got the fun of doing that at one in Alaska. All right, I'm going to go back to spinning here and maybe not so much talking. Because I would like to get this finished today. Probably won't. The last time, when I spun the other bobbin of this, I ended up with this teeny tiny amount left. I had to finish up off stream.
Send your friends and family a party in a box from
Okay, this is driving me crazy. They're doing all these ads. I'm going to find something else. Why are they doing that? Usually they just do it right at the beginning. You got your chores nearly finished while listening to you, though. Sounds like you got to see some very nice places. Good. I'm glad you got your chores done. I hope you can sit down now and knit or crochet on something or do some spinning. I've been ignoring my household chores. Although I have been cooking because I don't want to go out, eat out anywhere. Our trip home from Honolulu to Louisville took 23 hours. Now, we were not flying that whole time. I didn't figure out. I think we had actual 15 hours of flight time. Uh, Honolulu to LAX was a nice, really nice airplane. And it was completely full. And then LAX to Chicago was not quite as big, not quite as nice, not quite as roomy. And it was completely full. And finally, we had this little puddle jumper to go from Chicago to Louisville. And it was full. They are not flying as many flights, I think, the airlines anywhere. They are filling the flights completely. And I think the one from Honolulu had quite a few, excuse me, quite a few of our cruise mates on there, to be honest with you. You know, because obviously you got to get to LAX first, or if they were Canadian, they, would go somewhere north, but if they were going to go anywhere in the United States, they're going to go that flight from Honolulu to LAX. Maybe not our cruise ship, but cruise ship people. I was so tired, air weary, travel weary. My daughter picked us up at Louisville Airport, and I saw the car pull in to the pickup lane, right there where we were outside the terminal. And she got out and gave me a hug, and I said, "What car do you have?" And she looked at me. She's like, "Oh my gosh, my mom's losing her mind." She said, "Mom, that's your car." Oh, God, yes. Didn't even recognize my own car. I just figured she'd had a car. She had somebody's car that, she had a car, and she was going to take us to her house where our car was parked. But she was smarter than that. So then we just dropped her off at home and went on home ourselves. Suitcases all in the car. Oh, I've lost my spinning stamina here. Usually I just lose it on plying. I don't mind if I'm spinning fiber, but I get really bored sometimes plying. People were starting to talk about Advent boxes on, oh, I guess Discord I was reading. So I went and took a peek, but I missed that window. Not going to get one this year. That's what started me looking at Etsy, and I was feeling sorry for myself, so I was putting fiber in the cart. And then I finally said no. So, it's okay. I have the one to spin. So, I will spin that starting December 1st. I have to decide how I am going to, if I'm going to, they're rainbow colors. One color bleeds into the other. I have to decide if I want to do all those as a single and ply it with something else. Case spinning, working on your Malabrigo spin now. You've got the sunset color one probably 3/4 the way done. Oh, that sounds so pretty. And I've got a second 8 skein that reminds me of water. Oh, you mean 8 ounce? So you're going to combine them in a fade scarf whenever you finally get them all spun up. Okay, okay, that sounds lovely. I need to post a picture of my Afghan that I'm working on. It's a pretty lilac color. I don't know if it'll photograph well or not. I love the color though. Well, back to the rainbow colors. When it's a rainbow like that, I don't like playing together. If, like, say I could split each color and do a bobbin each. The colors might match up, but I think I would rather have spin all of the 25 colors on one skein, which probably means spin it on this Aura, which is probably what I decided last year and why I didn't, because that was, the Aura went out of commission. It took me a long time to get it fixed. Yeah, 8 ounce. I figured that. Braid was the word you were going for. Okay. Oh, an 8 ounce braid. Yeah. 8 ounces is a lot to spin. I am finding that out. This was a whole pound. So I had 8 ounces per bobbin. I'm definitely missing going to fiber fairs though. Once a year is not enough. We used to go to the one up um, near Worcester. Not Worcester. Let's see. Near Dayton. Uh, at Young's Dairy Farm. Young's Jersey Dairy Farm. That's always around September 20th, whatever that third weekend of September is. And I miss going. Getting ready for the cruise. Saving money. Oh, the at first, I didn't think. I was kind of wondering if the cruise was actually going to happen. Um, excuse me. We flew to Vancouver, and that worked well because we had transfers from Vancouver airport to the cruise ship that it worked. I mean, there was somebody there with a little sign that said NCL Spirit, and we followed them. They put us on a bus, drove us through Vancouver, and I swear he took the long route because we saw a lot of Vancouver, which was nice from a tour bus because usually when I'm driving, I'm paying attention to driving and everything. I don't get to see stuff. And I was like looking out the window, really enjoying seeing Vancouver. Never been there before. And we went through all the stuff to get on the ship, to board the ship. Once again, my magic wand worked. It's, my cane. And when I'm on my feet a lot like that and everything, I always have my cane with me. And that sometimes facilitators will come along and say, here, come up here, and put us in a disabled lane, which is nice. So, we went through all that and finally got on the ship. And we did like we always do. The very first thing we do is go get a drink and sit on the very top deck, right, so we can watch going out of port. It was about 4 o'clock. Boarding was coming to an end. All aboard is 5 o'clock, and we expected to leave by 5:15, 5:30. And we got there, you know, we got our drink and had gin and tonics and sat there, and it was sunny, it was nice, we were all happy. And 5 o'clock came and went, and 6 o'clock I said, you know what, I'm hungry. I don't care if we've left yet or not, I want to go eat. So we go cafeteria, or buffet, they call it the buffet. We go to the buffet, and we're still sitting in port. So we get done eating, and I said, well, let's go walk around and look at some of the ship. You know, we haven't been on this ship before. Let's go take a look. And we went up to one of the other top decks, one of the other decks that was the front of the ship instead of the back of the ship. And it was dark by then. We still hadn't left. And Vancouver's all lit up, right? That was so pretty. I took some pictures. I was like, it was 7:30. I'm like, what's going on? You know, what's going on? And we finally left. We went back to our stateroom, and we're going to sit on the porch, and it got kind of cold. So, you know, I crawled into bed. Finally, about 8:30, 8:45, we felt the ship moving. And hubby checked, and he says, yeah, we're leaving. So it was days before we finally heard that. So NCL makes these cruise packages, right? They provide the airfare, which we had, to Vancouver. They provide the transfers, which worked well for us. But it didn't work for about 20 people. 20 people had these cruise packages that were to fly them into Vancouver, and for whatever reason, their flights were canceled or delayed and had to be rescheduled, and they held that cruise ship and waited for those 20 people, which I'm glad to know, because if I'm buying that kind of package, I want that kind of guarantee. But I don't know what all they had to go through. I never got to talk to any of the 20, but that was the reason for the delay. Fortunately, it's not hard to get from Vancouver up to Alaska, where we were going. First port was Ketchikan, so they were able to, it was one day at sea, they were able to do that. That's the kind of stuff that gets written in the journal. I started this a little bit earlier, this stream a little bit earlier than I usually do, because I wasn't real sure if I was going to run into any problems after not having set things up for a while. Didn't have a bit of trouble, but anyway, I am ready to get up and walk. So I'm going to finish these strips up And I am going to end the stream for today. I need to walk a little bit. Go make some supper or something. Very, very thirsty. I've been drinking a flavored water that was called Blue and Blackberry. Turns out I don't like it as well as I thought. But I think I'll finish that up. Sounded better than it tastes. And the football games are on today. I recorded my Steelers game, so I can watch that later. Thank you, Knitter. I am glad to be back too. I'm not as much of a traveler as I thought I would be. But that just might be because I'm not feeling real good right now. Been sleeping a lot. Going to bed about 9. And I am feeling better than I did a week ago, that's for sure. So the next couple days I'll work on those pictures. I'll post in Discord when I got them up. You all can go take a look. Some beautiful scenery. Beautiful mountains. Both states have gorgeous mountains. Hawaii's are greener. Although the very first morning we came into a Hawaiian port during dark, you know, and when it's daylight and I'm up, I open the curtains to the big double door window that goes out to our balcony and look out there, and we're sitting beside a mountain, and I swear it looks just like Alaska. I said that I said that to my husband. I said, that looks like what we just left. So they are mountainous, and they don't always have vegetation on them. But yeah, they got a lot of mountains in Alaska and in Hawaii. Thanks for hanging out, Knitter and Kay. Really appreciate talking to you all. And I'll be back Tuesday morning. Hopefully I'll be working on my cross stitch. So you all take care. Have a good start to the week. I hope everybody stays healthy. And I'm working on getting better myself. So I will see you all later. Take care. Bye.